The stranger at the door. In the year 2847, humans were known across the galaxy for one thing. They were dangerous. Every alien species avoided Earth. Every mother warned her children about humans. But on one cold night, a dying alien mother had no choice. She had to trust the most feared species in the universe with her only child. The desperate journey. The story begins in deep space. A small, broken ship floats near Earth's moon. Inside the ship, there is an alien mother named Lyra. She belongs to the Velthari species. They have pale blue skin, large silver eyes, and thin, weak bodies. Lyra is very sick. She has not eaten for 15 days. Her body is covered with wounds. Her ship was attacked by space pirates called the Krath. They killed her husband. They destroyed her home planet. Now, only Lyra and her baby daughter, Nira, are alive. Nira is just 3 months old. She is very small, very weak. She needs special food that Lyra cannot find. Without this food, Nira will die in 2 days. Lyra looks at Earth through her broken window. "Earth," she whispers, "the planet of monsters." Every Velthari child learns about humans. Humans are violent. Humans are cruel. Humans destroyed entire species for fun. Humans cannot be trusted. But Lyra has no choice. Her baby is dying. Her ship has no fuel. Earth is the only planet nearby. "Forgive me, little one," Lyra says to her baby. "I am taking you to hell, because hell is our only hope." The crash landing. Lyra's ship enters Earth's atmosphere. The ship is too damaged. It catches fire. Lyra holds her baby tightly and prays. The ship crashes in a forest. It is nighttime. The location is rural Montana in the United States. There are no cities nearby, only trees, mountains, and silence. Lyra crawls out of the burning ship. She is badly injured now. Her leg is broken. Her blood is silver and it covers the ground. She holds Nira close to her chest. The baby is crying. She is hungry and scared. Lyra sees a small light in the distance. It is a house, a simple wooden house with a warm light in the window. A human home, Lyra thinks. This is where we will die, or where we will be saved. She begins crawling toward the house. Every movement brings terrible pain, but she does not stop. A mother never stops. The decision. Lyra reaches the house after 1 hour of crawling. She is almost dead now. She has lost too much blood. She knows she will not survive the night, but Nira can survive. If Lyra can find someone to help her baby. Lyra looks through the window. Inside, she sees a human male. He is alone. He is sitting near a fire, reading a book. He looks old, maybe 60 Earth years. His hair is gray. His face is tired but kind. He looks gentle, Lyra thinks, but humans are good at hiding their true nature. Lyra has to make a choice. Option 1, leave Nira at the door and run. Maybe the human will help the baby. Maybe he will kill her. Option 2, knock on the door and beg for help. But Lyra is too weak. She might die before she can explain. Lyra decides. She will leave her baby at the door. She will write a message. Then she will crawl away and die alone in the forest. At least my baby will have a chance, Lyra tells herself. Even a small chance is better than no chance. She kisses Nira one last time. Her tears fall on the baby's face. "Remember me, little star," Lyra whispers. "Remember that your mother loved you more than life itself." The knock. Lyra places the baby in a small basket from her ship. She wraps Nira in a silver cloth. She places a small translator device in the basket. This device can translate Velthari language to English. She presses the translator and records a message. "Please help my child. I am dying. She is innocent. She needs food, special food. The information is in this device. Please, she is all I have. She is all I am. If you have any kindness in your heart, please save her. I am sorry for asking. I know humans hate aliens, but I am a mother, and a mother will do anything for her child." Lyra places the basket at the door. She knocks 3 times. Then she begins crawling away toward the forest. Every movement is agony, but she keeps moving. She wants to die far from the house. She does not want the human to find her body and become angry. Behind her, she hears the door open. She does not look back. She cannot look back. If she sees her baby one more time, she will not be able to leave. The door opens. An old man stands there. His name is Thomas Reed. He is 62 years old. He was a doctor before he retired. His wife died 5 years ago. His children live far away. He lives alone now in this quiet place. Thomas looks down and sees the basket. He sees the alien baby inside. His eyes go wide. "What in God's name?" he whispers. He picks up the translator device. He presses play. He hears Lyra's message. Her voice is weak, full of pain and love. Thomas looks at the baby. She is so small, so helpless. Her skin is light blue. Her eyes are closed. She is shivering from the cold. Then Thomas looks up. He sees something in the darkness, a trail of silver blood leading into the forest. He makes his decision in 1 second. He puts the baby inside his house near the warm fire. Then he grabs his coat and a flashlight, and he runs into the forest. Thomas follows the silver blood trail. It goes deep into the dark forest. The trail becomes thicker. Whoever is bleeding is dying fast. Finally, he finds her. Lyra is lying on the cold ground. Her eyes are closed. Her breathing is very slow. She is almost dead. Thomas kneels beside her. "Hey," he says softly. "Hey, can you hear me?" Lyra opens her eyes slowly. She sees the human face above her. She tries to crawl away. She is terrified. No, stay away," she whispers. "I'm not going to hurt you," Thomas says. "I'm a doctor. I can help." "My baby," Lyra whispers. "Please don't hurt my baby." "Your baby is safe," Thomas says. "She's in my house. She's warm. Now let me help you." Lyra's eyes fill with tears. "Why?" she asks. "Why would you help us? We are aliens. Your people hate us." Thomas looks at her for a long moment. Then he says something that Lyra will never forget. "I don't see an alien," he says quietly. "I see a mother who was willing to die for her child. And where I come from, that makes you family." He picks her up gently, and he carries her back toward his home. Lyra expected death. She expected cruelty. She expected everything she had heard about humans. But instead she found Thomas Reed, a man who saw past her blue skin and silver blood, a man who saw only a mother in need. But this was just the beginning, because the galaxy was watching, and when the aliens learned what Thomas did that night, everything would change, forever. The difficult night, Thomas brings Lyra inside his house. He places her on his bed. She is unconscious now. Her breathing is very weak. Thomas examines her wounds. He has been a doctor for 30 years. He has seen many injuries, but he has never treated an alien before. "Okay, Thomas," he says to himself. "She has blood. She has bones. She has organs. The basics should be the same." He cleans her wounds carefully. Her blood is silver and cold. It does not clot like human blood. This is a problem. She is still bleeding. Thomas thinks fast. He takes some special bandages from his medical supplies. He wraps her wounds tightly. The bleeding slows down, but Lyra is still very weak. She needs fluids. She needs nutrition. But Thomas does not know what Velthari can eat or drink. He remembers the translator device. Maybe it has information. He finds the device in the basket with baby Nira. He searches through it. Yes, there is a medical file. It contains information about Velthari biology. Thomas studies the file quickly. He learns several important things. Velthari can drink water, but they need minerals added to it. Velthari cannot eat meat, only plants and certain proteins. Velthari blood needs a special compound to clot properly. Baby Velthari need a specific milk formula, or they will die. Thomas does not have all these things, but he is a smart man. He starts improvising. For the water, he adds salt and minerals from his kitchen. For the clotting problem, he uses a medicine designed for humans with bleeding disorders. He hopes it will work. For baby Nira, he creates a formula using plant proteins, vitamins, and special nutrients. It is not perfect, but it might keep her alive. The long night. Thomas works through the entire night. He does not sleep. He does not rest. Every hour he checks Lyra's vital signs. Her heartbeat is weak but stable. Her wounds are not bleeding anymore. But she is still not waking up. Baby Nira is another challenge. She cries often. She does not like the formula at first, but slowly she begins drinking it. Her tiny hands wrap around Thomas's finger as she feeds. Thomas looks at her small blue face. "You're a fighter," he whispers to her, "just like your mother." At around 3 a.m., Lyra starts having nightmares. She screams in her sleep. She cries out words in her own language. Thomas does not understand the words, but he understands the pain. He sits beside her bed. He holds her hand gently. "You're safe now," he says softly. "I don't know if you can hear me, but you're safe. No one is going to hurt you here." Slowly, Lyra calms down. Her breathing becomes peaceful. She stops screaming. Thomas stays with her until sunrise. The awakening morning comes. Sunlight fills the small house. Lyra opens her eyes slowly. She is confused. She does not recognize this place. The ceiling is made of wood. The walls are covered with pictures of humans. There is a strange smell in the air. Something cooking? Then she remembers everything. Her ship, the crash, leaving her baby at the door, the human man who found her in the forest. Lyra sits up quickly. Pain shoots through her body. She gasps. "Easy, easy," a voice says. Thomas is standing near the bed. He is holding a tray with food and water. "You shouldn't move too fast," he says. "You lost a lot of blood. Your body needs time to recover." Lyra looks at him with fear and confusion. "Why?" she asks. Her voice is weak and rough. "Why did you save me? I am nothing to you." Thomas puts the tray down. He sits on a chair near the bed. "Can I ask you something first?" he says. Lyra nods slowly. "Last night, when I found you in the forest, you were crawling away from my house. You were dying, but you were still trying to get far away. Why?" Lyra is quiet for a moment. "I did not want you to find my body," she says finally. "I thought, if you found me dead near your door, you might be angry. You might hurt my baby as punishment." Thomas's face becomes very sad. "You thought I would hurt a baby because her mother died near my house?" Lyra looks down. "That is what humans do," she whispers. "That is what we are taught. Humans are cruel. Humans are violent. Humans do not care about alien life." Thomas is quiet for a long moment. "Do you still believe that?" he asks softly. Lyra looks at her bandaged wounds. She looks at the food and water beside her. She looks at this old human who stayed awake all night to save her life. I do not know what to believe anymore," she says. The first meal. Thomas smiles gently. "Well," he says, "while you figure that out, you should eat something. I made some vegetable soup. According to your medical file, you can eat plants. I hope this is okay." He hands her a bowl of warm soup. Lyra takes it with shaking hands. She smells it first. It smells good. Different from Velthari food, but good. She takes a small sip. Her eyes go wide. "This is delicious," she says with surprise. Thomas laughs. "It's just soup, nothing special." "No," Lyra says seriously. "On my planet, we do not cook food with such care, such attention. This tastes like love." Thomas's smile becomes soft and sad. "My wife taught me how to cook," he says. "She always said that the secret ingredient in any meal is love. She's been gone for 5 years now, but I still cook the way she taught me." Lyra looks at him differently now. She sees not just a human, but a person who has known loss and pain, just like her. "Your wife," Lyra says quietly. "She died?" "Yes, cancer. I was a doctor, but I couldn't save her. That's actually why I moved out here, away from everyone. The memories in the city were too painful." "I understand," Lyra says. "My husband, he was killed by the Krath, the pirates who destroyed our world. I watched him die. I could not save him." They sit together in silence. Two people from different worlds connected by the same pain, the pain of losing someone they loved. Meeting Nira. After Lyra finishes eating, she asks the question that has been burning in her heart. "My baby, Nira, where is she? Is she alive?" "She's alive," Thomas says. Come, I'll show you. He helps Lyra stand. Her legs are weak, but she can walk with his support. They move slowly to the living room. There, in a warm corner near the fireplace, is a small bed that Thomas made from blankets and pillows. Baby Nira is sleeping peacefully inside. Lyra falls to her knees beside the bed. Tears stream down her face. Nira, she whispers, my little star. She picks up her baby gently. Nira opens her eyes and sees her mother. She makes a soft, happy sound. Lyra holds her baby close and cries. All the fear, all the pain, all the hopelessness of the past weeks comes pouring out. Thomas watches quietly. He does not interrupt. He understands that this moment is sacred. Finally, Lyra looks up at him. Her silver eyes are full of tears and gratitude. You fed her, she says. The formula. You made it yourself? I used your medical files, Thomas says. It's not perfect, but it seems to be working. She ate well this morning. You saved us both, Lyra whispers. You saved us both, and you do not even know us. Why? I must understand why. Thomas kneels down so he is at her level. Lyra, he says gently, I've been a doctor for a long time. I've seen a lot of suffering, and I've learned one thing. Pain is pain. Fear is fear. Love is love. It doesn't matter if your skin is blue or pink or green. When I saw you crawling through that forest, ready to die for your child, I didn't see an alien. I saw a mother. And where I come from, we don't turn away mothers in need. The warning. 3 days pass. Lyra grows stronger. Her wounds are healing. Baby Nira is eating well and growing. For the first time in weeks, Lyra feels something like hope. But on the third night, something happens. Lyra's translator device starts beeping. There is a message. A transmission from deep space. Lyra plays the message. A cold, cruel voice speaks. Attention, Velthari female. We know you survived. We know you are on Earth. Our scanners detected your ship's crash. We are coming for you. You cannot hide. You cannot run. You and your child will die, just like the rest of your kind. This is Krath Commander Vex. I killed your husband. Now I will kill you. Prepare yourself. The message ends. Lyra is frozen with fear. Her face becomes very pale. They found me, she whispers. The Krath found me. Thomas heard the message too. Who are the Krath? He asks seriously. Pirates, Lyra says. Her voice is shaking. Killers. They destroyed my entire planet. They killed billions of my people. They are powerful, cruel, and they never stop hunting their targets. How long until they get here? Lyra checks the transmission data. 5 days, she says. Maybe less. She looks at Thomas with desperate eyes. I have to leave. I have to run. If I stay here, they will kill you too. You have been so kind to us. I cannot let you die because of us. Thomas is quiet for a moment. He looks out the window at the night sky. Then he says something unexpected. No. Lyra is confused. What? I said no. You're not leaving. You're too weak to run. And even if you could run, where would you go? You have no ship, no fuel, no weapons. But they will come here. They will destroy everything. Thomas turns to face her. His eyes are calm but determined. Then we'll face them together. You do not understand, Lyra says desperately. The Krath have advanced weapons, advanced ships. They have killed millions. What can one old human do against them? Thomas smiles. It is not a happy smile. It is the smile of a man who has made a decision and will not change his mind. I don't know, he says, but I'm not going to let them hurt you or Nira. Not while I'm still breathing. Why? Lyra asks. Why would you risk your life for us? You barely know us. Thomas looks at baby Nira, sleeping peacefully. Because, he says quietly, every life is worth protecting, and I've spent my whole life protecting lives. I'm not going to stop now. That night after Lyra and Nira are asleep, Thomas goes to his basement. He opens an old locked box. Inside are things he has not touched in 40 years. Military equipment, weapons, communication devices. Thomas Reed was not always just a doctor. Before he became a healer, he was something else. A soldier. Not just any soldier. He was Commander Thomas Reed of the Earth Defense Force. He led the human victory in the First Contact War of 2805. He fought against alien invasions and won. He retired because he was tired of killing. And he became a doctor because he wanted to heal instead of harm. But now the universe is threatening people under his protection. And Thomas Reed is about to remember who he used to be. He picks up his old military communicator. He presses a button. A voice answers, "This channel has been inactive for 40 years. Identify yourself." Thomas speaks. "This is Commander Thomas Reed. Authorization code Alpha 770. I need to speak with the current Defense Council immediately." Silence. Then, "Commander Reed? Sir, we thought you were dead." "I'm very much alive," Thomas says, "and I need help. Earth is about to have visitors, the unfriendly kind." Lyra thought she had found a simple, kind old man. She did not know that this simple old man once commanded armies. She did not know that he once defeated alien fleets. She did not know that the galaxy feared him, but the Krath were about to find out, because Commander Thomas Reed was coming out of retirement, and he was very, very angry. The call. The Earth Defense Council responds to Thomas's call within 1 hour. A holographic screen appears in Thomas's basement. 5 faces look at him with shock and disbelief. The council leader speaks first. Her name is Admiral Chen. She is a strong woman in her 50s. "Commander Reed," she says slowly, "I was a young soldier during the First Contact War. I served under your command. I was at your funeral. We buried an empty coffin because we never found your body. And now you're telling me you've been alive for 40 years? "I'm sorry, Admiral," Thomas says. "I needed to disappear. The war broke something inside me. I couldn't be that person anymore." "So you faked your death and became, what?" "A farmer." "A doctor," Thomas corrects her. "I spent the last 4 decades healing people instead of killing them. I thought I was done with war." "And now?" Thomas's jaw tightens. "Now I have 2 refugees under my protection, a mother and her infant child. The Krath pirates are coming for them. I need support." Admiral Chen frowns. "The Krath? Commander? The Krath are just pirates. We could handle them easily if they attack Earth. Why do you need to get involved personally?" "Because," Thomas says, "these 2 are in my house, under my protection. That makes it personal." "Sir, with all due respect, they're aliens. Why do you care so much?" Thomas is quiet for a moment. "Admiral, during the war, I killed a lot of aliens. I told myself it was necessary. I told myself it was for Earth's protection. But every night I saw their faces, mothers, fathers, children. I told myself they were enemies, but they were just people. People I killed." He pauses. "This time I have a chance to save alien lives instead of taking them. I'm not going to waste that chance." Admiral Chen looks at him for a long moment. "What do you need?" she asks finally. "A defense shield around my location, a medical team standing by, and if possible, a squadron ready for air support. That's a lot of resources for 2 refugees." "Consider it my retirement payment," Thomas says. "Earth owes me." Admiral Chen almost smiles. "Fine. You'll have everything within 24 hours. But Commander, when this is over, we need to talk. The galaxy is changing. New threats are appearing. Earth could use you again." "Let's focus on one problem at a time," Thomas says. The truth. The next morning, Thomas knows he must tell Lyra the truth. He finds her in the garden behind his house. She is sitting in the sunlight, holding Nira. For the first time since her arrival, she looks almost peaceful. "Good morning," Thomas says. "Good morning," Lyra replies. "This yellow star, your sun, it feels so warm on my skin. On my planet, our star was cold and distant. I never knew sunlight could feel like this." Thomas sits beside her. "Lyra, I need to tell you something. Something about who I really am." Lyra turns to look at him. "I know you are a doctor," she says. "A kind man who saves people." "That's only part of the truth," Thomas says. "Before I was a doctor, I was a soldier, not just any soldier. I was a commander in Earth's military. I led armies. I fought wars." He pauses. "I killed a lot of aliens, Lyra. During the First Contact War, I destroyed alien fleets. I ordered attacks that killed thousands. The galaxy called me. They called me the Demon of the Stars. Lyra's face becomes pale. The Demon of the Stars, she whispers. I know that name. Every child in the galaxy knows that name. He was the human who destroyed the Vorian Empire, Thomas finishes, who burned the Nexus fleet, who made the galaxy fear humanity. Yes, that was me. Lyra pulls Nira closer to her chest. Her eyes are wide with fear. You are him? I was him, Thomas says. 40 years ago. I'm not that person anymore. But I wanted you to know the truth before the Krath arrive. You deserve to know who is protecting you. Lyra's quiet for a long time. Why did you stop? She asked finally. Why did you become a doctor? Thomas looks at the sky. Because I looked at myself in the mirror one day and didn't recognize the monster looking back at me. I had become death itself, and I hated it. So I disappeared. I changed my life. I dedicated myself to saving lives instead of taking them. He looks at Lyra directly. I'm not asking you to forgive me for my past. I'm not asking you to trust me. But I want you to know, the man who killed all those people, he doesn't exist anymore. The man sitting beside you now, he would die to protect you and Nira. That's a promise. Lyra studies his face for a long moment. She sees the guilt in his eyes, the pain, the sincere desire to be better than he was. On my planet, she says slowly, we believe that every person has two lives. The first life is the one we are given. The second life is the one we choose. It seems you have chosen your second life wisely. Does that mean you don't hate me? I should hate you, Lyra says honestly. The Demon of the Stars killed many of my distant relatives during the Vorian Alliance. I grew up with horror stories about him. She pauses. But the man I see now, he saved my baby. He fed us. He cared for us. He is risking his life for us. That man, I cannot hate that man. Thomas feels tears forming in his eyes. He has not cried in decades. Thank you, he whispers. The preparation. Over the next 2 days, Earth's forces arrive. They come quietly, secretly. They do not want to alert the Krath that a trap is being prepared. Defense shields are installed around Thomas's property. Weapons are hidden in the forest. A medical team sets up camp nearby. A squadron of fighter ships waits in orbit. Thomas oversees everything personally. He is no longer just a retired doctor. He is Commander Reed again, giving orders with authority and precision. Lyra watches him transform. She sees the way soldiers look at him with respect and even fear. She sees the sharp intelligence in his eyes as he plans the defense. You are like a different person, she says one evening. I'm the same person, Thomas says. Just an older version of who I used to be. Do you miss it? The power? The command? Thomas thinks about this. No, he says finally. I miss the certainty. In war, everything is clear. This is the enemy. This is the objective. Kill or be killed. Simple. But life is not simple. Being a doctor taught me that every patient is a complex universe of hopes and fears and dreams. War reduces people to targets. Medicine sees them as miracles. He looks at Nira, who is playing with a toy that Thomas made for her. She's a miracle, he says softly. Her life matters more than any victory I ever won in battle. The night before the Krath will arrive tomorrow. Everyone knows this. The tension is thick in the air. That night, Lyra cannot sleep. She walks outside and finds Thomas sitting on his porch, looking at the stars. May I join you? She asks. Of course. She sits beside him. I am afraid, she admits. Not for myself, for Nira. If I die tomorrow, who will take care of her? Thomas is quiet for a moment. I will, he says. Lyra turns to look at him. You would raise an alien child? I would raise your child, Thomas says. If something happens to you, I will protect her as if she were my own granddaughter. I swear it on my life. Why? Lyra asks. Why do you care so much about us? Thomas looks at the stars. Do you know why I became a doctor after the war? You said you were tired of killing. Yes, but there's more. During the war, I captured an alien prisoner, a young female. She was barely an adult by her species standards. She was terrified. She begged me to spare her life. She said she had a baby at home waiting for her. He pauses. His voice becomes heavy with pain. I let her go. I released her and told my soldiers she escaped. But the next day, my own commanders found out. They executed her anyway. They said I was weak for showing mercy. Tears rolled down his face. I never forgot her face. I never forgot her words. Please, I have a baby. She said those exact words. And when I found you in the forest, when I heard your message about your baby, I heard her voice again. And I knew. I had to save you, to make up for the one I couldn't save. Lyra's eyes fill with tears too. You carry so much pain, she whispers. We all carry pain, Thomas says. The question is what we do with it. I chose to use my pain to help others. That's all any of us can do. The arrival. The next morning, the Krath arrive. 3 massive ships appear in Earth's sky. They are black and silver, covered with weapons. They look like death itself. Commander Vex's voice broadcasts across all frequencies. Humans, we are the Krath. We have come for the Velthari female and her offspring. Surrender them immediately, or we will destroy your entire region. Thomas picks up a communicator. This is Commander Thomas Reed of Earth Defense. The refugees are under my personal protection. Leave now, or face the consequences. Silence. Then Commander Vex's voice changes. It becomes surprised, uncertain. Thomas Reed? The demon of the stars? That's impossible. Thomas Reed died 40 years ago. Reports of my death were exaggerated, Thomas says calmly. Now, I'm giving you one chance. Leave these people alone. Turn your ships around. Go back to wherever you came from. If you do this, I will let you live. Let us live? Vex laughs. Old man, we have 3 warships. You have nothing. Thomas smiles. Admiral Chen, he says into his communicator. Yes, Commander. Please show our guests what we have. Suddenly, the sky changes. 20 Earth defense ships appear from behind the moon. They had been hiding, waiting for Thomas's signal. They are bigger, stronger, and more advanced than the Krath ships. I believe, Thomas says, you were saying something about us having nothing? Commander Vex is silent for a long moment. Then he laughs again. But this time the laugh is dangerous. Clever human, very clever. But you have made a mistake. You think this is just about the Velthari female? This is much bigger. The Krath have allies, powerful allies, and they are already here. More ships appear, not 3, not 20. Over 100 alien ships drop out of hyperspace. They surround Earth's forces. They block all escape routes. The Dominion of Kar, Vex announces, the greatest military power in 3 galaxies. They have been waiting for an excuse to attack Earth for centuries, and you just gave them one, demon of the stars. You brought the Dominion? Thomas says. His voice is steady, but Lyra can see the concern in his eyes. They were happy to come, Vex says. You see, they remember the First Contact War. They remember what you did to their allies. They want revenge, and now they have it. The lead Dominion ship broadcasts a new message. Humans, you have sheltered enemies of the Dominion. You have rejected the authority of the Krath, who operate under Dominion protection. For these crimes, your planet will be punished. All humans will be enslaved. Your world will burn. This is the price of compassion. Thomas looks at the sky full of enemy ships. He looks at Lyra, holding Nira tightly, terror in her eyes. He looks at his soldiers, waiting for orders, fear on their faces. And then he does something unexpected. He smiles. Admiral Chen, he says calmly, it's time to wake up the sleeping giants. Admiral Chen's voice is shocked. Sir, you don't mean... I do. Authorization code Delta 001. Activate the Earth defense grid, all of it. But sir, that system has been dormant for 50 years. The rest of the galaxy doesn't know it exists. Exactly, Thomas says. And now they're about to find out why humanity is the most dangerous species in the universe. The Dominion thought they were attacking a helpless planet. They thought Earth's defense was those 20 ships. They were wrong, very, very wrong, because Earth had been preparing for this moment for 50 years, hiding weapons that could destroy moons, hiding shields that could stop armies, hiding secrets that would terrify the gods themselves. And Commander Thomas Reed, He knew exactly where those secrets were buried. The galaxy was about to remember why they feared humanity. The sleeping giants were waking up. The giants wake, the Earth defense grid activates. First, hidden platforms rise from the oceans, giant metal structures covered with weapons. They had been sleeping underwater for 50 years, waiting for this moment. Second, weapon stations on the moon activate. Their massive cannons point toward the Dominion fleet. Third, satellites all around Earth transform. What looked like communication equipment becomes powerful laser arrays. Finally, the biggest secret of all. In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, something massive moves. A structure the size of a small moon. It is called the Titan, and it is humanity's ultimate weapon. A ship so powerful that it was never meant to be used. A ship built out of pure fear. Commander Vex sees all of this happening. His confidence disappears. What is this? He demands. This is impossible. Our intelligence said Earth's military was limited to planetary defense. Thomas's voice is cold. Your intelligence was wrong. Very wrong. Earth has been preparing for a moment like this for 5 decades. We knew that someday someone would try to threaten our world again. We built the defense grid in secret. No one knew about it except a few high commanders. The Dominion has 100 ships, Vex screams. We have weapons that can destroy moons, Thomas replies calmly. Your numbers mean nothing. The choice. The Dominion commander speaks. His name is Warlord Thrak, leader of the Dominion military. His voice is ancient and arrogant. Commander Reed, I see that humanity has more strength than we believed, but you are still outnumbered. Even with your hidden weapons, this battle will cause massive destruction. Millions of humans might die. Are you willing to sacrifice your own people for 2 alien refugees? Thomas does not hesitate. Yes. Fool, what are 2 aliens worth compared to millions of humans? You don't understand, Thomas says, and that's why you'll never defeat us. It's not about these 2 specific aliens. It's about what we stand for. If we surrender innocent refugees to be murdered, we lose something more important than lives. We lose our humanity. We lose who we are. He pauses. Earth will never surrender innocent people to killers. Not today. Not ever. That is our answer. Warlord Thrak is silent. Then, so be it. All ships, attack. Scene 3. The battle begins. The sky explodes with light. Dominion ships fire first. Thousands of plasma beams streak toward Earth. But the defense grid responds. Shields activate, absorbing the attacks. Counterfire launches from ocean platforms, moon bases, and orbital stations. Thomas watches from his command center in the basement. Holographic screens show the battle in real time. He gives orders with calm precision. Squadron 7, protect the Western shield generators. Moonbase Delta, target the Dominion flagship's engines. Titan, hold position. Do not fire unless I give the order. Lyra stands beside him, holding Nira. She is terrified but refuses to hide. Why don't you use the Titan? She asks. It could end this quickly. The Titan's main weapon is too powerful, Thomas explains. If I fire it near Earth, the energy blast could damage our own planet. It's a last resort only. Then what's your plan? We make them pay for every inch. We destroy their ships one by one until they realize this invasion isn't worth the cost. Then they'll retreat. The sacrifice. The battle continues for 3 hours. Earth's forces are winning, but slowly. The Dominion has more ships, but human technology is superior. For every Earth ship destroyed, 10 Dominion ships are eliminated. But Warlord Thrak is not stupid. He notices something. Their main weakness is the old man, he tells Commander Vex. Reed is commanding the entire defense from a single location. If we destroy that location, their coordination will collapse. But we don't know where he is. I do, says a new voice. A small Krath scout ship had slipped through the battle lines. It had been tracking Thomas's communications. Now it was approaching Earth's surface, heading directly for Thomas's house. Thomas sees it on his screens. One ship got through, he says. It's coming here. Can we stop it? Lyra asks. All our forces are engaged in the main battle. Nothing can intercept it in time. The scout ship is 5 minutes away. 4 minutes. 3. Thomas makes a decision. Lyra, take Nira to the underground shelter. The medical team will protect you. I'm going outside. What? Why? The ship is targeting this house because I'm here. If I go outside away from the building, maybe I can draw its fire. Give you and Nira a chance to survive. Lyra grabs his arm. No! You can't sacrifice yourself. There must be another way. There isn't, Thomas says gently. He touches her face softly. Lyra, listen to me. I've lived a long life. I've done terrible things and I've tried to make up for them. If my death means you and Nira survive, then it's a good death. The best death I could ask for. Thomas, go. Now. Protect your daughter. That's all that matters. The stand. Thomas walks outside. He stands in the open field behind his house. In his hands is an old plasma rifle, a weapon from his military days. The Krath scout ship appears over the trees. It hovers above him, weapons charging. Thomas, read, the pilot's voice broadcasts, the demon of the stars. How fitting that you die alone in a field, protecting aliens. How pathetic. Pathetic? Thomas laughs. I've lived for this moment, to finally be the protector instead of the destroyer. You can't understand that. You only know how to take lives. I've learned how to give them. Enough talk. Die, human. The ship's weapons fire. Thomas closes his eyes. He thinks of his wife, of the patients he saved, of Lyra and Nira, hopefully safe underground. He feels peace, but death does not come. Thomas opens his eyes. Something impossible is happening. A golden light surrounds him, a shield of pure energy, protecting him from the weapon's fire. What? The pilot screams. What is this? A new voice speaks. It is ancient, vast, and powerful. Human, you have shown something we have not seen in 10,000 years. True compassion, true sacrifice. You were willing to die for beings who are not your species, not your family, not your responsibility. This act of selfless love, it has awoken us. Thomas looks up. In the sky, beyond the battle, beyond the stars, something enormous is appearing. Something that makes the Titan look like a toy. A ship. No, a being of pure golden light. We are the ancients, the voice says. The first race. We have watched the galaxy for millions of years, waiting for a species worthy of our knowledge. Today, humanity has proven worthy. Today, everything changes. The intervention. The ancient being moves toward the battle. Every ship, human, Krath, Dominion, stops firing. Everyone watches in disbelief. Warlord Thrak, the ancient speaks, you attacked a planet that sheltered refugees. You threatened genocide over 2 innocent lives. This is unacceptable. Who? What are you? Thrak demands. We are the ones who came before. We built the gates that allow faster than light travel. We seeded life across the galaxy. We are the ancients, and we do not tolerate cruelty. You have no authority over the Dominion. We have authority over everything, the ancient says. You will leave this system. You will never threaten Earth again. If you disobey, we will remove your entire species from existence. This is not a threat. This is a simple statement of fact. Silence. Then one by one, the Dominion ships begin to retreat. Warlord Thrak's voice is filled with humiliation and rage. This is not over, humans. The Dominion will remember this insult. Remember it well, Thomas says, and remember that Earth doesn't stand alone anymore. The Dominion fleet disappears into hyperspace. The Krath ships try to flee too, but the Ancient stops them. The Krath murdered billions of innocent Velthari. They have been fleeing justice for too long. Today that ends. The Krath ships are surrounded by golden light. They are not destroyed. They simply stop existing, erased from reality. The battle is over. Earth is safe. The ancient being turns its attention to Thomas. Thomas, read. Your compassion has changed the fate of your species. Humanity will now be considered a protected race under our guidance. You will receive knowledge, technology, and resources beyond your imagination. Your species will no longer be feared. You will be respected. All of this because I helped 2 refugees? Thomas asks. A single act of kindness can change the universe. You have proven this today. What happens now? Now, now you rest. You have earned peace, warrior. But know this, Lyra and her child are special, more special than you know. The Velthari were the last descendants of our race. Lyra's bloodline carries ancient DNA. Her daughter, Nira, she is the key to the next evolution of galactic civilization. Thomas looks toward his house, where Lyra is emerging from the underground shelter, Nira in her arms. She's special? He whispers. She is everything, the ancient says. And you, Thomas Reed, are now her guardian. Protect her well. The future depends on it. The ancient being fades away, leaving behind only stars. Thomas walks toward Lyra and Nira. Lyra is crying. She runs to him and embraces him. You're alive, she sobs. I thought you were dead. I'm alive, Thomas says, holding her tightly. We're all alive. And apparently, we just changed the history of the galaxy. The battle was over. Earth was victorious, but the universe would never be the same. Thomas Reed, the demon of the stars, had become something new. A guardian, a protector, a father figure to the most important child in the galaxy. The ancients had returned after 10,000 years of silence, and they had chosen humanity as their heirs. All because one old man refused to turn away a desperate mother and her baby. In the end, it was not weapons that saved Earth. It was love. The aftermath. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks have passed since the battle. Earth is transformed. The ancients shared technology freely. Diseases that killed millions can now be cured in hours. Energy is unlimited and free. Food can be created from nothing. Poverty, hunger, and suffering begin to disappear across the planet. But for Thomas, life is quiet. He still lives in his simple house in Montana. He refused all offers to move to a bigger home or to receive special treatment. I like it here, he told Admiral Chen. It's peaceful. And after everything that happened, I think I've earned some peace. Lyra and Nira live with him now. Not as guests, but as family. Every morning, Thomas makes breakfast for all three of them. Vegetable soup for Lyra, special formula for Nira, and eggs for himself. They eat together at the small wooden table. Today, Lyra notices that Thomas looks troubled. What's wrong, she asks. The ancients want to meet us tomorrow, Thomas says. They want to discuss Nira's future. I'm worried about what they'll say. You think they will take her away? I don't know. She's apparently very important to them. What if they want to raise her themselves? What if they think we're not qualified to care for her? Lyra reaches across the table and takes Thomas's hand. Thomas, you saved her life. You saved my life. No one in the universe is more qualified to care for her than you. If the ancients cannot see that, they are not as wise as they claim. Thomas smiles sadly. When did you become the one giving me courage? We give courage to each other, Lyra says. That is what family does. The ancients visit. The next day, an ancient arrives at Thomas's home. It takes a physical form, a tall being made of golden light, with features that are vaguely humanoid, but clearly not human. Its voice is gentle, almost musical. Thomas Reed, it says, I am called Luminos. I have been assigned to guide Nira's development. May I come in? Of course, Thomas says, stepping aside. Luminos enters the small house. It looks around at the simple furniture, the old photographs on the walls, the toys scattered on the floor where Nira plays. This home, Luminos says with surprise, it is very modest. We offered you palaces, wealth beyond imagination. Why do you stay here? Because this is home, Thomas says simply. Fancy buildings don't make a home. People do. Luminos considers this. You are a fascinating species, it says. We have watched the galaxy for millions of years. We have seen empires rise and fall. We have seen civilizations destroy themselves over power and resources. But humanity, you continue to surprise us. How so? Most species would have demanded rewards for what you did. You saved a refugee mother and child, triggered the return of the ancients, and became a galactic hero. Yet you ask for nothing. You stay in your small house. You cook breakfast for an alien woman and her child. You play with baby toys on the floor. Thomas looks at Nira, who is trying to walk. She takes 3 wobbly steps and falls. She looks up at him and giggles. This is the reward, Thomas says softly. This moment, right here, watching her grow, being part of her life. What could be more valuable than this? Nira's destiny. Luminos sits down, or rather it shapes its light form into a sitting position. I must discuss Nira's future, it says. She carries the last pure ancient bloodline in the galaxy. When she reaches maturity, she will have abilities, powers that no other being possesses. What kind of power? Lyra asks nervously. The power to create life. The power to heal entire worlds. The power to bridge minds across galaxies. She will be in many ways like a goddess. Thomas and Lyra exchange worried looks. That's a lot of responsibility for one person, Thomas says. It is, which is why we want to discuss her upbringing. Originally, we considered taking her to our dimension to be raised among us. She would learn to control her powers in complete safety. Lyra's face becomes pale. Take her away? That was the original plan, Luminos says. But I have been observing you. For 2 weeks, I have watched how you care for her, how Thomas wakes up 3 times every night to check on her, how Lyra sings her Velthari lullabies, how you both have created a home filled with love. It pauses. We have concluded that no ancient environment could give Nira what she needs more than what you provide here. She needs love, real, unconditional, messy, human love. We cannot manufacture that. You give it freely. So, she can stay? Lyra asks, hope in her voice. She will stay, Luminos confirms. You will raise her. We will visit regularly to help with her training when her powers begin to emerge. But her home will be here, with you. Lyra begins to cry with relief. Thomas puts his arm around her shoulders. Thank you, he says to Luminos. Do not thank me. Thank yourselves. You have shown us something we forgot long ago. The power of simple kindness. We became so advanced, so powerful, that we forgot what it meant to just care for someone. You reminded us. The galaxy watches, months pass, then years. The galaxy changes rapidly. With ancient technology and human compassion, a new era begins. Earth becomes a beacon of hope. Species that once feared humans now seek their help. The planet becomes a place of healing for refugees from across the stars. Humans welcome them all, inspired by Thomas's example. Thomas becomes a legend, not as the demon of the stars, but as the man who opened his door. Schools teach his story. Parents tell their children about the human who saved an alien mother and her baby and changed the universe. But Thomas does not care about fame. He cares about Nira. He watches her grow. He teaches her to walk, then to run. He reads her stories at bedtime. He comforts her when she has nightmares. He celebrates her first words, which are, to everyone's surprise, "da-da" in English. She thinks you're her father, Lyra says one day, watching Thomas play with Nira in the garden. Is that okay? Thomas asks carefully. I don't want to disrespect her real father's memory. Lyra smiles through tears. Her real father would have loved you, she says. He always said that family is not about blood, it's about love. You love Nira with all your heart. That makes you her father in every way that matters. Nira's first power. When Nira is 3 years old, her powers begin to emerge. It happens on a normal day. Thomas is working in his garden, planting vegetables. Nira is playing nearby with a small ball. Suddenly, Thomas hears her crying. He rushes over. Nira has fallen and scraped her knee. Blue blood is flowing from a small wound. It hurts, she cries. Thomas kneels beside her. It's okay, little star, he says, using the name Lyra calls her. Let me see. But before he can examine the wound, something happens. Nira places her small hand on her knee. Golden light flows from her fingers. The wound heals instantly. The skin is perfect again. Even the pain disappears. Nira looks at her hand with wonder. Grandpa Thomas, she says in her small voice. I fixed it. Thomas stares at her, amazed. Yes, sweetheart, he whispers. You fixed it. You have a very special gift. That night, Luminos visits. It has begun, the ancient says. Her powers are awakening. The next few years will be crucial. She must learn to control these abilities, or they could overwhelm her. Will it be dangerous? Lyra asks worriedly. It could be, but with love and patience, she will learn, and she has the best teachers in the galaxy. You mean you? Thomas asks. I mean you, Luminos says. We can teach her technique, but only you can teach her wisdom. Only you can teach her why these powers should be used for kindness, not conquest. Only you can show her that strength means nothing without compassion. The family complete 5 years have passed since the night Lyra crashed on Earth. So much has changed. Nira is now 5 years old. She is brilliant, kind, and powerful. She can heal wounds, grow plants with a touch, and speak to animals. But more importantly, she has a good heart, a heart shaped by Thomas's example and Lyra's love. The galaxy knows peace. The ancient human alliance has brought stability to thousands of worlds. Refugees are protected, tyrants are stopped. The universe is slowly becoming a better place. On a warm summer evening, Thomas sits on his porch. Nira is playing in the garden, making flowers grow with her hands. Lyra is cooking dinner inside. She has learned to make human food, and she's quite good at it. Admiral Chen visits occasionally. She always shakes her head at Thomas's humble lifestyle. You could be president of Earth, she said once. You could rule the galaxy. Why do you stay here? Thomas always gives the same answer. I have everything I need. Now as the sun sets, Lyra comes outside with a tray of food. She sits beside Thomas. Nira runs over and climbs into his lap. Tell me the story again, Grandpa Thomas, Nira says. The story of how Mama came to our door. Thomas smiles. He has told this story 100 times. He will happily tell it 100 more. Once upon a time, he begins, there was a lonely old man who lived in a house in the forest. One cold night, he heard a knock at his door. When he opened it, he found the two greatest treasures in the universe, a brave mother and her beautiful baby daughter. And from that night on, he was never lonely again. Because we're a family, Nira says, finishing the story as she always does. Yes, little star, Thomas says, hugging her tightly. Because we're a family, and families stay together, forever. The legacy many years later. Thomas is very old now. He lies in his bed, surrounded by Lyra, Nira, who is now a young adult, and hundreds of holographic images. People from across the galaxy have sent messages of love and gratitude. Nira holds his hand. She is crying. Please don't go, she whispers. I can heal you. My powers can... No, sweetheart, Thomas says gently. Some things are meant to happen, even death. Especially death. He looks at Lyra, who is also crying. Thank you, he says to her. Thank you for knocking on my door that night. You gave me something I didn't know I was missing. A family, a purpose, a reason to live. You saved us, Lyra whispers. You saved me, Thomas corrects her. I was just existing before you came. You made me live again. He turns to Nira. Remember what I taught you, little star? Power means nothing without compassion. Strength means nothing without kindness. Always help those who need it. Always open your door to strangers. That's how you change the universe. One small act of kindness at a time. I promise, Grandpa, Nira says through her tears. Thomas smiles one last time. I'm not afraid, he says. I've lived a good life. I've made mistakes and tried to fix them. I've hurt people and tried to heal them. But in the end, I helped two strangers who needed me. And that's what I want to be remembered for. Not the battles, not the wars. Just this. I opened my door. He closes his eyes. And Thomas Reed, the demon of the stars, the man who opened his door, the guardian of the ancient child, passes peacefully from this world. But his legacy lives forever. 100 years later, Nira stands before the Galactic Council. She is now the most powerful being in the universe. She has ended wars, healed worlds, and brought peace to billions. She is giving a speech about her grandfather's legacy. Thomas Reed taught me everything I know, she says. Not about power, not about strength, but about love. He showed me that one person can make a difference. He showed me that kindness is the greatest force in the universe. She pauses. My mother was dying when she knocked on his door. She was an alien, a stranger, from a species humans feared. Any other person might have turned her away, but not Thomas. He opened his door, he opened his heart, and he changed everything. Today I announce the creation of the Thomas Reed Foundation. It will help refugees across the galaxy. It will provide homes for the homeless, food for the hungry, and hope for the hopeless. This is his true legacy. Not weapons, not wars, but compassion. She looks up at a portrait of Thomas that hangs in the council hall. "Grandpa," she whispers so only she can hear, "I kept my promise. I'm making you proud." And somewhere beyond the stars, Thomas Reed is watching, and he is smiling. This is the story of Thomas Reed, a soldier who became a healer, a killer who became a savior, a lonely man who became a grandfather. He did not change the galaxy with weapons. He changed it with one simple act. He opened his door. That is the power of humanity, not our technology, not our armies, but our ability to see a stranger in need and choose to help. This is the true meaning of HFY, humanity, because when humans love, they love with everything they have, and that love can change the universe.